Okay, I'm recording. Please don't say anything that would get you banned on YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
Hey, what up, YouTube?
One
Anyway,
star. One star.
I gotta start this whole fucking story over again, so let's jump right in. Tyler, should I actually start it all the way from the beginning, or should I just start with, like, the cupcake shop part? Because, like, all of it leads up to the cupcake shop part, because we had Ava hounding us all day, and people bitching all day, and that's why it happened.
Look, dude, say whatever you believe you have to say to get your point across.
Start from the
Alright.
beginning.
Okay, so, in the before times of about, I think, 7 hours ago, and that makes me sad to say that I spent 7 hours playing this fucking game, especially doing the shit I'm about to describe. Like, I think it was around 9 p.m. when I got home, and then I talked to Brian, and we're sitting there, and we're like, you know what? Let's go down to the exchange base. And at the exchange base, we're going to find some roleplay. We're going to walk in, we're going to apply, we're going to do our cool bounty hunter shtick. So we're down there, this redheaded broad we beat up the other day and did coke off her ass, Icely. She walks up and goes, hey man, let's roleplay again. You guys, real cool customers, real chill dudes, let's fucking do it. So she walks up, and me and Brian joke, and we're like hiding behind the counter and shit. And eventually we decide to go outside, have ourselves a nice little roleplay. Mainly, our characters don't remember her at all because we were both drunk and or high as fuck the other day when we were role-playing with her. So she eventually ends up tagging along with us after Brian does another, like, line of coke and gets high as fuck in character, and my character just goes along for the ride because he's an inexperienced, strapping young
Let's
lad.
clarify that we're doing lines of giggle dust. We didn't say coke. At least we didn't last night. Did Brian change that because he didn't care? Or
Tyro,
I know it doesn't matter, but...
YouTube.
yeah, we had to keep this PG. So anyway, lines of giggle dust. Doing some
Which is
happy
a Star Wars drug of fantasy fiction.
I know we did that we said giggle dust last night. I mean, if you guys changed it because, like, oh, I'm lazy, I don't want to sit there and produce pretend Star Wars things, like, I get it. Anyway, go ahead. It's not that important.
Why does this matter so much to you?
It doesn't.
YouTube.
Yeah, partially.
We can't say lines of coke on YouTube. We have to say giggle dust.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
Go ahead. We're derailing.
Okay, Brian was snorting some happy trails. And eventually Brian's like, guys, I know what we're doing. You, redheaded broad, follow us. Shaza walked up. Shaza from the SLMC, known as Chaos, walked up, and he's like, hey, I'm a Jawa. I'm also annoying as fuck. I'm probably a dick girl Jawa. Brian told it to get the fuck out, and then he hates it. So then Shaza leaves, kind of making a passive-aggressive post. Maybe not, I don't know. And we decide to go up to the diner, where the Jedi are fighting Toilet Aftermath as some sort of weird Tim Burton robot, I guess, and his weird companion who looks like autistic Wolverine, because he has like these weird bat ears on his head for some reason and like horns on his mouth, but it just makes him look like Wolverine, like the comic book version of Wolverine, or like early Hugh Jackman Wolverine, And we go, okay, cool, whatever. So we walk in. My character's like, hey, should we help them out? And Brian's character's like, no! Just get us pancakes. So I go to get pancakes, and the Jedi, for some reason, decide to turn to my character and go, don't mind us! Just taking out the trash! So my character turns to them and goes, okay, that's pretty neat, my man. So we get the pancakes, and Brian's character hatches an idea from seeing the Jedi. Because we ran into this hut a day ago who, like, runs a fancy art gallery in the Undercity. So Brian's like, let's go to the Jedi Temple and steal their fucking trees, and we'll sell them to the hut to make their art exhibit, and say they're quality trees from the Jedi Temple and that they're collectible items because they come from a Jedi Temple. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. The redhead broad comes with us. Lauren, aka Omega, comes with us. And we walk in there, and there's this Jedi who is a Tony the Tigerman, but not an actual Tony the Tigerman, like actual tiger head Tony the Tigerman. He has a human face with like a weird sort of muzzle on it, so he looks like kind of an asshole. I think it's early 2000s emo hair, and like I described before, like these weird ears. I can't even describe the shape of them. They sort of just look. They're not like cat ears. They're not like bat ears. They're not like rat ears. They're just potato ears, basically. They're shapen, not very cool, kind of nerdy, like a faggot. So whatever. He walks up to us and goes, "Slash me size calls Jedi Temple Guardians to kick them out," and then he logs off. Or no, he says the Jedi Guardian, the fucking Jedi Temple Guardians, definitively kick us out. Like they definitively just remove us. There's no room to argue. That's what happened. That's the reality now. So we go, you know what? That's kind of a faggy move. So I have Lauren pretend to be an NPC as a Jedi Temple Guards, and she like does the SWT and rolls for the Jedi Temple Guards and shit. And you know, it's a pretty fun time. We get halfway through the battle, and another Jedi logs on, Harley or whatever, and she goes, "What are you doing?" Now at this point, we're well embroiled in this roleplay. It's just everyone there who's participating were the people who came to steal the trees, so no one should be fucking upset. No one there should have any issue with it. But this Harley person logs on in the middle of us doing this and goes, "What are you doing? You can't do that." And we go, "Why not?" And she's like, "Well, that's against the rules." We're like, "Look, this guy called the Jedi Temple Guardians on us, and he said they kick us out, and that's God modding." And she's like, "That's not God modding. That's just the rules." And we go, "That seems like God modding." She goes, "You're a troll." So I point out to this woman, "Look, before you arrived, before you, the special snowflake that you are, the sweet baby boy that you are, showed up in this scene, it was just us. Out of fucking 5 people participating, only one of them has a problem with it, and because of that, everyone else participating is a troll," which is a fucking shit argument. Fuck you. It's just, people use that term because they don't want to think for themselves. They don't want to have like any sort of reasonable discussion. They don't want to consider other people's points of views. They just go, "You're a troll, and therefore I'm right because you're a troll." It's like, fuck off. It has no meaning anymore. That's what that word does. Fuck you, Alton. So that bitch, after calling us a troll and I points out to her, she fucking logs off. So then we go back to it and we're fighting. My character gets like traumatized from this fighting. Ava walks in. Ava strolls on in because apparently someone's fucking bitching to her. I don't know who, but I imagine it's probably Harley, you know, to sit here and be a dipshit conspiracy theorist for a minute. It's probably the Harley bitch, the fucking Tony the Tiger dude. But anyway, she threatens to kill us if we don't leave, which is very Jedi-like. We just massacred 2 of her fucking, you know, temple guards. She doesn't give a shit about them. They were immigrants. So we're leaving with the trees, and we decide, hey, let's go back to the bar. So we walk into the bar, and Tarthus is there, and Tarthus was white knighting for this redheaded broad the other day. And he was like, he came down and threatened to kick our ass, but then used some like really shitty SWT rules. I'm just rolling with it like a cool dude, like a champion of roleplay, real paragon. He decided to bitch and say like only 2 of us could fight him, and then he called in Ava, and then "You guys better step," because Ava's a pussy and listens to the loudest voice.
Actually, let me interject here. I believe Tarthus gave Ava like partial information about what was happening and completely colored the situation. Though Sam gave Ava logs, and I don't think Ava approves of exactly how Tarthus handled it, after the fact at least.
Yeah, whatever. So Tarthus does this white knight bullshit, and this girl he white knighted for, I don't think she likes him very much. As soon as Tarthus kicked us out and she was left there, she just logged off rather than roleplay with him. But that could just be conjecture. It could be just coincidence. But she was rolling with us in their gang now, and we're hanging out there in the bar with her, and she's like paying for our drinks and shit. And Tarthus comes down and goes, "I told you guys you were banned from my bar," and then tries to fight us, even though we're not causing a ruckus. So you know what? I guess that's a reasonable thing to do. When a bunch of people show up, apparently having made amends with the person you were mad about in the first place, the best thing to do is in a crowded bar, pull out dangerous weaponry and just blindly fire at them unless they leave. Whatever. So we get up and we decide, you know what, this is autistic, we're gonna go to this cupcake bar. We go to the cupcake bar with trees. Just a bunch of fucking trees in our arm. Little saplings. Fucking plants.
Let me clarify once again,
them.
they are actual bark and all trees, not anything else. Okay,
Yeah, they're actual trees. So we walk in with these actual trees and like prop them up against the wall, and the woman goes, "You cannot have trees in my facility because it's a health code violation. Because no one has ever had fucking plants in the history of a restaurant. It's morally corrupt to have plants in a restaurant. You could poison millions of people. God help you if a leaf touches one of them. It's an anaphylactic shock." So whatever. Brian's character, he's strung out as shit. He's high on happy trails and giggle dust, and he turns to her and he's like, "No, this bar is now mine, and you're fucking shooting. You're fucking shooting people, or not fucking. God, I got distracted for a minute." So it's my bar, and you can't tell me what to do. I'm a Mandalorian. I have a fucking machine gun on my chest. I can literally rip through tanks like they're nothing. What are you gonna do about it? And she goes, "You better get out of here before I find someone to beat you up." And it's like, "I'm not afraid of you. You're a cock." She literally called Brian a cock, and then wonders why Brian's character is trying to put a bullet in her chest. This like insane, drugged out person. This unreasonable person, because God knows all humans are just completely reasonable and never do horrible dickish things for no reason. So whatever. She's talking shit. My character's just sitting there, "God, please no more. I just want it to be over." And eventually, she fucking reaches down and presses the silent alarm on her cupcake shop. And then she didn't post this in local, by the way. This was just in IM. She messages people. And it goes, "/me, presses silent alarm. There are 2 Mandalorians in shop, and they're being mean to me." Because apparently silent alarms let you like send your thoughts telepathically without having to say anything in front of these 2 dangerous individuals. So, a Sith apprentice, a fucking Sith apprentice, who's been in the Sith for a week, you know, the super space capitalists, the super space libertarians, do whatever you want. It's not my job to protect you. Fucking kill anybody you want as long as you can get away with it and you can like survive their retribution from like their family members and shit. Kill everybody. I don't fucking give a shit. They're not my problem. Those Sith, she bursts in like fucking Kylo Ren. Excuse me. She bursts in like Kylo Ren and like grabs the T-21 bolt and holds it in place without any issue. So Brian's sitting there like, "What the fuck? That's autistic as shit." And then she brings in another Zabrak for no fucking reason. And then another dude shows up, a fucking blind Force user, who just like shows up and goes, "I'm gonna beat the Mandalorians." She didn't post any of this shit in IC, so why are you guys here? And then Ava shows up too, and I asked her like, why is she allowed to do this? And Ava goes, "Well, you should stop attacking bases if you don't want to deal with the consequences of it." It's like it's not a base. It's not a temple. It's not a military outpost. It's not a faction base. This woman doesn't run a fucking faction. It's a cupcake shop. It's a cupcake shop in a fucking ghetto. And these superpowered space wizards care so much about it. I just can't express it. These people care so much about a fucking cupcake shop, they're gonna risk life and limb to save the cupcake shop owner. What the fuck? So whatever. So whatever. We go, fine, whatever. Like, Brian just posts like, watches the woman stop the blaster bolt like Kylo Ren, and then he turns on his like fucking flamethrower and tries to burn the shop down out of retribution as he flees. You know, a pretty reasonable thing to do for a coked out man. And Snowballs goes, "You're a troll." It's like, fuck off, Snowballs. You don't know what you're talking about. You fucking unsubstantiated piece of shit. Define the term troll for me, Snowballs. You fucking cunt. You can't. So whatever. Ava bans Brian because Brian used the term Kylo Ren in roleplay. Because God help you, that's the most egregious act you can levy against another fucking person. Just comparing them to Kylo Ren.
Well,
Brian's banned for 3 days.
I think Kylo Ren is in a different continuity, but whatever. Besides the point, it's a minor infraction at best, if any.
Brian's banned for 3 days now.
That
so
seems
we're in there,
unreasonable.
and Fox is there, and Fox is talking shit in local. He's talking shit to Van. Snowballs is calling us trolls. Fucking this stupid Asian whore, this Asian rape slut, she messages me and goes, I'm not going to deal with you guys if you're going to be trolls and bullies. I asked her, what proof do you have that I'm being a troll or a bully? What's your proof? That I fucking did something you didn't like and I see? Is that it? Is that your only fucking, only proof against us? Then fuck you. It's called roleplay. People are gonna do things all the time. And these people don't understand. You don't have to like anybody. You can hate everybody with every fiber of your fucking being in society, but you still have to cooperate with them. When push comes to shove, you can't just like withdraw from society and not cooperate with people. And people on a roleplay sim think they have the right to just do that. You don't. Get over it. Fuck you. You're not special. So Brian's banned. Van sits there and talks shit to Fox Lafford, and Fox Lafford is another topic altogether. I can tell you the entire story about Fox Lafford some other time.
Let's save that for another YouTube video if we decide to do so.
I will say that for another YouTube video. So fucking Fox Lafford does his shit. He's talking shit. Snowballs is talking shit. I go to Ava. I'm like, why do these people get away with it? Why, if we did any of this in any sort of like context, we'd immediately have GMs descending from the fucking heavens to ban us. And then
here's the problem. As someone who's
no, let Sam finish. Then you can butt in, Alton.
Yeah. So fucking Van tells Fox straight up, "You're a pedophile," and then Fox makes fun of his dead grandfather, which Fox doesn't even believe he's a pedophile. He doesn't think he's a pedophile. He just refutes it. So you know what? I think it's kind of shittier to go, your grandfather's dead, ha, than a fucking, like, thing you don't even, like, consider as an actual threat to you or your person. And Ava just goes, well, Van's clearly the one in the wrong, and Van's fucking Van. No one else gets a talking to. Van and Brian are banned. Brian for something that shouldn't even be a blip on the radar in the grand scheme of what happened. And Van. I mean, Van I can sort of understand, but why wasn't Fox banned as well? Like, Fox came in out of nowhere in this roleplay and started acting like a huge fucking cock. And then I got sidetracked. This Asian rape slut, I just remembered. She messaged me, like, you're a troll or bully. So I asked her, like, what proof do you have?
Who is
like,
Asian rape slut?
Ah, God, she's on my friends list. I gotta go find her.
Serenity?
Yeah, Serenity. She's
Okay.
Asian rape slut.
Yeah, let's just clarify name. I mean, it's one thing to describe appearances. It's another thing to just go with your colloquialisms that you like to use.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm autistic. That's how my people are.
I'm aware. That's why you're telling the story, because my stance on this is that you're autistic and you're angry about this, so you're going to tell it exactly as it happened.
Yeah, so fucking this bitch, she messaged me. She's like, I'm not gonna roll with you because you're being a troll and a bully. So as I said before, I asked her what her proof was that she was a troll or we were trolls or bullies. It was just IC stuff. And I tried to explain to her, like, my character's just this young dude who's shell-shocked, and he has no other choice but to be with this violent, unstable, drug-addictive of a person, this broken shell of a man, because he has nowhere else to go. And, like, that's our character arcs. That's our thing. And she's like, well, I'm a 21-year-old shop owner. Why would he shoot me? It's like, because you're provoking him. Because this dangerous, unstable man walks in with a fucking gun and full military armor, including an anti-personnel rocket on his wrist. And you're going to talk shit to that guy and tell that guy what he can and cannot do. And, like, get hostile with him and threaten him. Like, what the fuck do you think is going to happen? Do you think he's going to be cowed by you? This woman who, in her own terms, isn't a fighter, isn't a Jedi, isn't a Sith, isn't anybody of any note? Like, why did you think that wouldn't happen to you? So I tried to explain this, and she refused to respond to me, and then she logs off. And then, after that, we just fucking leave. My two roleplay partners are fucking banned now, and I have nothing else to do, and it's just like, why? Why are we the ones getting picked out for this, out of all things?
I think it's also worth noting that Van told me, like, in all serious context, that, like, he was very upset with 40 and he doesn't really want to RP there anymore. But he'll probably be back, but, like, this was really upsetting for him, I believe. Like, I don't think he's lying about that.
Yeah, Alton, what were you going to interject with?
I'm gonna interject with the fact that these people are getting.
Hold on one sec, let me turn you up in Discord, Alton.
Alright.
Alright, go ahead, say again.
I was saying that people have friendships and ties to the administrations, and that's what keeps them from being banned for the same shit that you guys are being banned. Because there are admins currently there that used to be a part of what I loved to call the Special Snowflake Committee. And they would just get upset over everything that wasn't going their way or wasn't really working out for their friends. So anybody who wasn't an administrator who tried to play a bad guy was automatically labeled a troll and a griefer. That's just how it has always been there. And I did everything that I could to try and stop it from constantly being labeled as such. But in that effort, I was labeled a troll and a griefer.
Yeah,
So,
these
yeah.
Yeah, it's the thing with like these characters. Like,
Whatever you
What a
started
bitch.
saying, Sam, you go.
yeah, I got this microphone that if you put up the tip of it, it'll mute itself. But like, you have to keep doing it because sometimes it doesn't turn off accurately.
Yeah, I feel it's probably like a push to talk delay with the thing. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's the problem with modern Sith, though. That I feel is that no one wants to really roleplay a bad guy, because at the end of the day, we all are kind of social creatures, and being a social creature, it's kind of hard to distance yourself from the acts you're doing, and understanding that in character you're going to make enemies, and those people won't want to hang out with you or be your friend. And like when you do that, yeah, it kind of limits the role plays you can do on Sim with that character now, because now these people won't want to deal with you and will probably be hostile towards you. So I think a lot of that stems from just people don't want to be hated and don't want to feel like their options are limited with their character, because people get really attached to their characters. And like that's kind of the wrong attitude to take with Sith, because your character is essentially just dicking over everybody, putting yourself above everyone else. It's looking out for number one, and sometimes look out for number one. You got to get rid of number two.
I feel like, despite all the things like you hate, like Ansible Red's crowd for, at least like they do the thing where like they'll very often kill off their own characters and like get into fights, and they'll like try to have consequences for those fights. And I feel like the Sith don't do nearly as enough of that as they should.
Well, my
Same
problem.
for like troopers and shit.
Problem with Red Ansible and their group
Well,
doesn't really.
I mean, let's not go into that for this recording. I was just saying that in reference to what you said.
Oh well, I was gonna make like a really quick point. That's like it's not because of what they do ICly. It's just purely OOC shit.
Yeah.
Like ICly, they do good work to their credit. They do some great things. But
You're a doo-doo.
yeah. Thank you, Elton. But no, like the OOC shit is really dumb. The entire situation was just caused by OOC.
Alright, so is there anything more to add about like the current situation? Like, do you want to say something, Ben? Do you want to say something pertinent, Brian?
This is all fucking autistic. Like, this is the definition of low functioning autism.
I was asked to join, and I saw how retarded it was, and it was like, with any of those people.
You mean like, what do you mean join? Like join into, what do you mean?
Just with the roleplay. Join the roleplay.
Oh, okay.
Those people all look retarded and look like they're behaving retarded, so...
So you didn't want to join the roleplay, not because like Brian and the others were being silly with it. You didn't want to join because of how the people were reacting to it.
Because it looked like the shop owner had involved a lot of other people inexplicably.
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 All right. Any closing YouTube friendly statements?
Yeah. Okay, kids. don't do drugs unless you're Brian. And
Especially Kenny, don't do.
Yeah. Kenny, if you're listening right now, I know you're trying to reenact Train Spotting 2, but just don't. Okay, it always ends bad. And yeah, I have something to say to all those people of ethnic variety. You guys are fuck.
Oh, okay.
What?
Oh.